Can you guess which decadent dessert will have you craving a taste of the 70s? Get ready to travel back in time and uncover 5 iconic sweets that are still popular and enjoyable from the 70s were a crazy decade, not only for fashion and music, but also for desserts. It was an era marked by daring tastes, inventive pairings, and a lot of fun. In this video, we're taking a delicious trip down memory lane to explore 5 iconic desserts that captured the spirit of the era. We'll learn about the history of these classic dishes, from where they came from and what events they were served for and how they've changed over time. Grab a fork and get ready to eat something sweet and interesting. The lava cake. Think of a warm chocolate cake that has a surprise inside. A chocolate center that melts and flows out like lava when you cut it. This is what the lava cake, a rich dessert that became popular in high-end restaurants in the late 1970s and is often found on the menus of those places, is all about. The exact start date isn't clear, but some food historians think the lava cake came from a French restaurant in the late 1960s. The story goes that a chef, maybe Michel Bras, was trying out different chocolate cake recipes and accidentally baked one too soon. As a result, a warm cake with a deliciously gooey middle. The lava cake, or gâteau coulant in French, became very popular very quickly after it was made by accident. When it came to the United States in the late 1970s, the lava cake was already a well-known dessert that stood for luxury and culinary skill. The warm, slightly crisp surface of the lava cake transitions to a gooey, rich chocolate center, resulting in a symphony of textures. It's like biting into a warm chocolate chip cookie, but with a stronger molten chocolate flavor. The light, airy cake perfectly balances the rich dark chocolate, creating a truly rich experience that is both satisfying and exciting. Still a popular dessert choice today, often found on the menus of upscale restaurants as a special occasion treat for anniversaries or birthdays. It's clear from how popular they are that they can provide a moment of pure indulgence and culinary delight. Have you ever had a molten lava cake? Share your chocolate memories in the comments section. The Grasshopper. The Grasshopper is the perfect dessert drink for people who like sweets and mint. During the 1970s, this bright green drink was always on the menu at dinners and parties. Mint, cream, and chocolate liqueur are mixed together to make a refreshing drink with a sweet and sophisticated flavor. It's kind of like a mint milkshake for adults. You can have it to satisfy your sweet tooth after a meal or to add a little minty magic to any party. There are several reasons why the Grasshopper became so popular in the 1970s. First, its bright green color really stood out at parties. It looked great on dessert tables and added a fun and festive touch. Second, a lot of people liked the flavor combination of mint, cream, and chocolate, which was both familiar and new. Finally, it was a favorite among home bartenders and cocktail lovers because it was easy to make. In the 1970s, the Grasshopper was a versatile drink that could be drunk at home after dinner or in cocktail lounges and bars. The Grasshopper is a delicious combination of sweet and minty flavors. The smooth texture reminds one of a luxurious milkshake, and the refreshing mint adds an elegant edge. The smooth, creamy base is complemented by cool mint and a hint of chocolate, creating a truly unique and satisfying beverage. Even though the Grasshopper hasn't been as popular as it was in the 1970s, it's still a classic cocktail that many people love. This sweet mint treat is still available in a lot of bars and restaurants. You can make it at home with just a few simple ingredients. Have you ever had a Grasshopper? Tell us about your minty memories in the space below. Baked Alaska. Get ready to be amazed. A dessert called Baked Alaska is both beautiful to look at and tasty to eat. Think of a soft cake made of a sponge sitting on top of a mountain of creamy ice cream surrounded by soft, toasted meringue. Well, back in the 1970s, this amazing dish was popular at fancy restaurants and on special occasions like birthdays and anniversaries. It's hard to forget the treat of cold ice cream, warm meringue, and a soft cake. You won't believe it, but Baked Alaska has been around since the late 1800s. If you remember, it was first created in France as Bombay, Alaska, to honor the United States purchase of Alaska. In the early days, the dessert was often made into roofs, filled with ice cream and mousse, covered with foam, and baked for a short time. The modern Baked Alaska, which is made with sponge cake as the base, became popular in the 1960s and 1970s. It looked great, and at fancy restaurants, the meringue was often flambéed right in front of the customer to make it look even better. This made it a great centerpiece for special events. Baked Alaska is a melody of difference. The crispy toasted meringue has a sweet, airy crunch, and the cold, creamy ice cream melts in your mouth. The soft, pillowy sponge cake base adds another layer of texture, resulting in a multi-sensory experience that is both delightful and surprising. Baked Alaska is still a dessert for special occasions, even though it's not as popular as it used to be. It might be on the menu at fancy restaurants or as a main dish at events with a retro theme. It's an unforgettable treat because of how well it looks and how well the flavors go together. Have you ever had a Baked Alaska? Tell us about your experience in the space below. Peanut butter cup pie. People who like peanut butter and chocolate, listen up. This pie is the perfect mix of two well-known tastes. People all over the world loved this rich, creamy dessert in the 1970s, and they still do. Smooth chocolate on top of the creamy peanut butter filling is a match made in heaven. You can satisfy your sweet tooth and feel nostalgic at the same time with this dessert. No one knows for sure where peanut butter cup pie came from, but it became very popular in the 1970s. At that time, it was easy to make this tasty pie at home because peanut butter cups that were already made were easier to find. It quickly became a hit at potlucks, family reunions, church picnics, and holiday parties because it was easy to make and had flavors that everyone liked. This pie is a textural experience for your taste buds. The smooth, rich chocolate topping balances out the creamy peanut butter filling. Imagine biting into a peanut butter cup, but in pie form, with an added layer of sweetness. Some versions even incorporate chopped peanut butter cups into the filling or on top for an extra crunch. Peanut butter cup pie is still a popular choice, especially among people who like the classic mix of chocolate and peanut butter. Because it's easy and can be used in many ways, it's a great dessert for any event. Have you ever been lucky enough to try this tasty pie? Tell us about a time when you loved peanut butter and chocolate in the comments. Disco ball cake. Get ready to dance the night away with a dessert that is as fun and bright as the disco era. The disco ball cake is a classic from the 1970s. It's a beautiful cake that makes any event more fun and shiny. This huge cake, with its shiny icing and bright decorations, was the center of attention at any party, from disco-themed birthdays to wild New Year's Eve bashes. The disco ball cake perfectly captures the mood of the 1970s. You could be yourself, express yourself, and have a lot of fun. Glitz and glam were big in the disco scene, and this cake's shiny frosting and eye-catching decorations went with that theme. It was a sign of fun, celebration, and the carefree spirit of the time. You could find it in specialty bakeries, or make it at home by daring bakers. Disco ball cake. The disco ball cake's appearance is all about glitz and glam, but its flavor is equally delicious. The base cake can be anything from classic vanilla to rich chocolate, but the toppings are what turn it into a party in your mouth. Colorful sprinkles, candies, chocolate shavings, and even delicious glitter add a satisfying crunch and burst of sweetness to each bite. Not as popular as it used to be, the disco ball cake is still a fun way to add some retro style to a party and a beloved symbol of the disco era. You might see it at events with a retro theme, or on the menus of bakeries that make custom cakes. There are also many recipes online for making this famous dessert at home for those who want to bring some disco fever into their own kitchens. Have you ever had a disco ball cake before? Write it down below and let us know. Let's take a little trip through the sweet aisles of the 1970s grocery shop. Remember those racks full of nostalgic treats? Consider Jell-O pudding pops with Bill Cosby's legendary "I love pudding pops" advertisements. Magic cookie bars, gooey, layered richness, and colorful boxes of sweet cereals like Frankenberry and Count Chocula, to name a few. The 1970s were a golden decade for packaged sweets. With Hostess Twinkies and Ding Dongs, Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies, and Drake's Ring Dings. Can you remember your favorite snacks from those days? Share your sweet memories in the comments section. We've looked into the nostalgic and sweet world of the 1970s desserts, from the molten magic of lava cakes to the sparkling show of disco ball cakes. Not only did these desserts satisfy our sweet tooth, but it also showed what people were eating, and eating style-wise, at the time. If you enjoyed this journey through the past, there's so much more fascinating stories from the 1970s and beyond to share with you.